Small Stories from Life Part 14. Here is the first story, Be Proactive. There was a guy who secretly loved his co-worker but didn't have the courage to express his feelings. After a while, the co-worker got married to someone else. The guy was frustrated and disappointed, so he moved to another company and then married someone he didn't really love. Years passed, until one day the guy accidentally met his old co-worker at a bus stop. After a few greetings, he decided to confide in his hidden feelings. After listening, the co-worker asked why he didn't take the initiative to tell her about his feelings. He replied, "Because I was afraid you would reject him." She was silent for a moment and then spoke up, "If I didn't ask, how would I know you would reject me?" He was startled and said that meant you used to love me too. She smiled, "I used to have feelings for you and love could have developed from there, but it was too late." A bus arrived, she said goodbye to him and got on the bus. He stood silently watching the bus disappear. Lesson: sometimes just because of a moment of hesitation, we have to regret for the rest of our lives. If we do not proactively seize the opportunity, it will slip away. Thank you for listening.
Followed by the second story, Just Live Normally. A tree with lush branches and leaves laughs at your bare tree. When winter comes, it falls off and looks so shabby and ugly. Just like me, which is lush and beautiful all year round. Not long after, the snow falls. The lush and leafy tree is now covered with snow. The branches cannot bear the weight of the snow, so they break and fall to the ground. The tree now looks both tattered and shabby, while the bare tree, because all its leaves have fallen off. The snow cannot gather on the branches, and because of that, it is not damaged. The lesson learned is that external beauty cannot last forever. Sometimes it is a burden and brings trouble, while simple things are carefree when facing storms. When we do not pay too much attention to appearance, we can enjoy life comfortably, and then our life will be more and more joyful. Thank you for listening.
Followed by the third story, Be Patient. There was a chef who was well known for his dishes that always had a variety of flavors. One day, 3 of his students gathered and asked him about the secret to becoming a good chef. He did not answer right away but looked at his students. "Tell me." The first person affirmed that the most important thing is to truly love the job. The second person continued, thinking that improving cooking techniques is more important. The third person insisted that he wanted to become a good chef. "We must definitely study the preferences of diners to cook dishes that suit their taste." The chef smiled and slowly explained that what you just said is important, but there is one thing I want you to remember: to become a good chef, you must be patient with other people's opinions. Do not lose faith when your dishes are criticized, but do not be too proud of your cooking skills when praised. Be patient and understand your own abilities. Do not try to please everyone. The lesson is to not be swayed by other people's opinions, but to believe in your own abilities instead of trying to please everyone. Work on improving yourself and building your confidence. Thanks for listening.
Followed by the fourth story, Everyone is Precious. A girl had many friends. Wherever she went, everyone liked to be friends with her. Old and new friends liked to chat and confide in her. When asked about the reason why everyone loved her, she replied, "I'm not beautiful, so people certainly don't like me because of my appearance. I think maybe I know how to appreciate the fate between me and the people around me." Then continued to explain that since I was young I always thought that the opportunity to get to know strangers all comes from fate. Therefore, I try not to let conflicts arise and always care about everyone I know. At home I care about my parents and relatives. At school I care about my teachers and friends. When I step out into society I see that my colleagues and superiors are also God-given fates. To me, everyone is precious. The lesson learned is that if you know how to appreciate your relationships, you will see that everyone is precious, and from there, of course, everyone will love you too. Thanks for listening.
followed by the fifth story, another perspective, two mothers talking to each other. Son, how are you doing these days? The first mother asked. The second mother complained that my son is very poor. My son married a lazy wife, a wife who never cooks, cleans the house, or does the laundry. All day long he just sleeps. Sometimes my son even has to bring food to his wife's bed. What about your daughter? The first mother smiled and replied, my daughter is very lucky. She is pampered by her husband so she doesn't have to do anything. Her husband does all the housework, from cooking, washing, sweeping the house to taking care of the children. One day my son-in-law even brought food to his wife's bed. The lesson is the same event but from a different perspective. We have different feelings, from which we have different attitudes. When we look at things from another person's perspective or simply change our way of thinking, we may find more joy. Here we would like to end this story. Thanks for listening. Hello and see you again in Small Stories of Life Part 15.
Các ơi